Hello guys, I hope you're all well. Today I thought I would do a bit of an update on Jensen's weaning because the last video I did, I want to say was about 2 weeks ago and he'd been doing it for about a week. A lot has changed. When I last did my video, I was just doing puree food with him because I was just never really one for baby-led. I'm not one for mess, and I just always thought, like, if I give him a stick of cooked broccoli, he's not actually going to get any, it's just going to go on the floor. I'd rather give him a spoonful of pureed broccoli and know that he's going to get it. So yes, I was doing lots of purees, I was doing most of the stuff myself, and it was going fine for a few days, I would say, and then all of a sudden he just started closing his mouth. He didn't want to eat anything, he wasn't interested, it didn't matter if it was sweet, if it was savoury. The odd time he would surprise me and he'd have a few mouthfuls, but on the whole he just kind of lost interest. And I put a shout out on Instagram just to say, like, I don't know what's going on, has anyone got any advice? And a lot of you said, firstly, he wasn't in a high chair, he was just in this kind of leant back seat. He wasn't completely laying down, but he wasn't upright, so that might have been the problem. And of course I know it's a choking hazard not to have them sat up and everything. I just didn't have a high chair at the time. And yeah, a few other people said, why don't you try baby-led weaning? So I've taken that on board now and we are at a completely different level. So beforehand, and I am going to talk about all of this more in this 7-month update because this might change. This has only been the case for like the last few days. Beforehand he was having 5 bottles of milk during the day, 3 bottles during the night, 1 to 3 but normally 3, and then 3 I'd say meals. We'd kind of gotten it up to, I was trying to give him a breakfast, a lunch and a dinner, but like I said, he was hardly having any. We're now at a point where he's having 3 bottles during the day, 2 during the evening, so he's massively cut down from like 8 bottles to 5, and 3 proper meals. He'll wake up and he'll have a bottle and then breakfast and a nap. He'll then have a bottle and lunch, then a nap, and then he'll have a bottle and dinner. Not really close together because one will fill him up, and he's having so much more food. So now, firstly, we have got him in a high chair. That made a difference instantly, straight away. I just think he felt more comfortable because he was upright. I guess it's just easier to eat when you're sat up anyway, but he could see what he was having, he could reach, he had like, well, he has now a table in front of him, whereas when he's laid on his back, you know, if he drops food, it kind of goes down the sides of him and he doesn't know where it is. So that, you know, it gave him independence and was safer and easier for him. And I started to give him more baby-led food, more finger food. It has just completely changed things. It's been an absolute game changer. So for every meal, I try and give him some kind of puree and some kind of finger food, mainly because if I try and feed him puree, he'll grab the spoon, he'll squish the food, he'll chuck it, not chuck it, he doesn't chuck it, he'll drop it, or he'll try and like grab his bib, or like if I give him a toy, I was giving him a toy, I said this in my last video, so it's something for him to hold, so he wouldn't grab the spoon, but he would just put that in his mouth, and then I couldn't get anything in his mouth anyway, so I figured if I give him finger food, at least he's getting something, like some kind of goodness and food in him in between me spoon feeding him. Every meal he has some kind of puree, some kind of finger food, and yeah, typically he's having a breakfast, a lunch and a dinner. It's kind of gone a complete 180, his sleep has been better. Only the last 2 nights, 2, maybe 3, but I think what it is instead of me thinking, oh, it's been 3 hours, he's due a bottle, even if he's not moaning, I've kind of spaced it out. I've offered him food first, so now he has a bottle in the morning, then breakfast, but for the next set he has lunch first, then a bottle, and he has dinner first, then a bottle. So he's kind of realising that food is replacing milk slightly, and he's filling up on food more, and he's hungrier because he wants a bottle, so he's eating more food. And yeah, it's all just kind of, it's been like a snowball effect. All these little kind of positive changes I've made, or just changes that I've made, have slowly helped everything. But like I said, it has only been a few days, so things could change, but I will do more updates. So the kind of things that he has, being that he is now 6 months and 3 weeks, I think, he's tried most things. So he has most fruit, most vegetables. He hasn't tried meat yet, that's something I haven't tried, and dairy I've only introduced the last couple of days. So typically for breakfast he'll have maybe porridge. I've just started giving it to him with cow's milk, but before I was giving it to him with formula. He will have baby rice milk. What else? Weetabix he's tried, although someone did comment on my Instagram to say that babies shouldn't have Weetabix. So I don't know, if you let me know your thoughts on that. I have googled it and it's really mixed reviews. He's over 6 months now, so it seems to be okay, but I don't know, there's something to do with allergies and stuff. And then I'll give him some toast, normally with just butter, but the other day I gave him some Philadelphia and he really, really liked it. He had a Farley's Rusk the other day. He has Farley's Rusk mixed up with milk, and he'll also have it just as like a finger food to hold. I'll give him fruit sticks like peach, banana, avocado. I leave the peel on now because I found before I'd cut him a slice of avocado, he'd hold it and it would just slip out of his hand. Same with banana. He does end up sucking it, and he did manage to bite off a bit of avocado peel the other day and it was just in his mouth. So yeah, you have to keep an eye on them when you do that. Yeah, any kind of fruit. He has grapes, blueberries, strawberry, mango, apple, pear. Sometimes he'll have puree, sometimes he'll have it raw and just kind of not chew on it but suck on it. And then for lunch he tends to have more of like a vegetable based puree. I do a combination of making my own and having pouches, which I'll talk about in a minute, but it tends to be things like, I don't know, parsnip, carrot and pear. He prefers sweet things. He's definitely got a sweet tooth, and I know you're supposed to try and give them more vegetables because otherwise they develop a sweet tooth. And already, like, I've tried him with broccoli on its own, peas on their own, and he's just not interested. So I'm already having to try and like mix it with things like broccoli and pear, or things like carrot and parsnip that are quite sweet. So yeah, he'll tend to have things like that, and then I'll give him a snack. So it might be like raw carrot sticks, raw, again, avocado, cucumber sticks. You know those things, I can't remember what they're called, I'll show you now, but they look like What's-Its, but they're like giant carrot What's-It style crisps, like cheesy stars. I have lots and lots of snacks, the kind of ones that melt in your mouth. He absolutely loves the Kiddylicious wafers. We have blueberry flavour and banana flavour, which I sometimes give him for breakfast as finger foods, and then we have carrot flavour, which I'll give him for lunch or dinner, and they literally melt in your mouth. They look like cuttlefish. But yeah, that's the kind of thing he'll have. And then the same for dinner, a kind of vegetable based puree. And then sometimes if he's still hungry, today he had a whole pouch, so I then gave him a sweet one afterwards. He only had a few mouthfuls, but kind of like as a pudding. Now I do a mixture of things that I've made myself and pre-made. I'm not at all too proud to use packets and things that are made. I am quite, like, I like to make sure that they're organic and that you know exactly what's in it. So I tend to go for brands that I know and that I trust. I don't like when it says, you know, carrot and apple puree and then you look on the back and there are 10 other ingredients. So I do really try and stick to ones that I love. Ones that I know and trust are Ella's Kitchen, Babby's, I never know if it's Babby's or Baby's, and Piccolo. Piccolo. Those are 3 pouches that I just have a cupboard stocked full of. Some of them are brands that I work with, so I've been sent. Some of them I've bought myself, or I've worked with, loved so much, and then bought myself, because yeah, you get what it says on the packet. Jensen seems to love them. His favourite at the moment is Piccolo Spring Greens. I didn't think he would like it because I thought it would be all broccoli and peas and stuff like that, but it's actually got some pear and apple in it as well. And it says it on the packet, it tells you what's in it. And yeah, they're just really convenient, they're easy to take out. Now he tends to have the whole packet, but a good tip if your child only has half or a quarter is put it back in the fridge. You can have it in the fridge for 24 hours afterwards and use it for lunch or dinner the next day, because otherwise it just goes to waste. With Jasper, I was awful for leaving them in my bag and then just chucking them away. So now I always make sure to put them in the fridge straight away. I always make sure that I've got a spoon in my bag. I grab a pouch before we go out. I grab a little tub. I got all of these little tubs to put snacks in, and I put 2 or 3 in, and that does him for lunch or for dinner. So yes, if you are going down the pre-made route, pouches, I would definitely say Ella's Kitchen, Piccolo and Babies. If you've got any tips for other ones, then please do pop them below because we'd love to try some more. Always have a spoon in your bag. You can get ones that have little cases so they don't get dirty. I also make a lot myself because, I don't know, I think it is nice to make your baby their own food. And if I'm cooking dinner for myself and Pete and for Jasper, say we're having like sweet potato mash, I'll just automatically put some in little storage pots for Jensen as well. I have got a thing called the Bieber, which I showed you in the last video, I think, but it's basically a steamer and a blender in one. It tells you how much water to put in depending on what the vegetable is or the fruit, and yeah, it's just a really easy way. Rather than having to steam it and then blend it separately, you do it all in the same thing. And then I just bought some ice cube trays. The ones I've got are actually baby ones. They're the same size as ice cube trays, probably more expensive, so I would just go for normal ice cube ones. And then once they're frozen, pop them out, pop them into a Ziploc bag. You can write on the bag what's in them. And yeah, it's easy just to grab a couple of portions out. If you're going out for the day, you can pop one in a little storage pot, take a spoon, and you've got your meal for the day. So that's it. That's Jensen's weaning at 6.5, almost 7 months. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do leave some comments below, any tips that you've got and any questions, anything like that. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!